Hey guys, welcome to 22LR, where we focus on the competitive side of the rimfire world. Today's video, we're going to be breaking down a couple of stages from the April 2022 NRL22 Course of Fire. The management at NRL22 threw this thing out, what was it, yesterday? It was yesterday. So we're going to get out here and shoot a couple of stages and see how it goes. This month's Course of Fire is going to be tough. The targets are small, there's a lot of position work, there's a lot of position changes, a couple of mag changes. It should be a good time, and it should help everybody to get to be a better shooter.
Alright guys, first up we've got time to pay the taxman. We've got a 1 and a 2 inch at 45, we've got a 2.5 and a 3 at 95. On start signal, shooter is going to choose a position and engage the far targets from large to small with 1 shot each. Then the shooter is going to transition to a new position and engage the targets large to small with 1 shot each. Repeat this process far to near, change positions after every 2 shots. The shooter may not repeat any position. Eligible positions are 2 legs, 2 tips in the center of the tank trap. A caveat to the stage, the prop must primarily support the rifle. The way I decided to approach this was leg, tip, center, tip, then leg. I felt like the legs and the center were going to give me the most stability for those long range engagements, and the tip, being a little less stable, was going to be decent for shooting those near targets. As usual on a tank trap, I place my bag so that I can get a big chunk of my rifle stock on the bag, bend at the hips, lock my legs out, get my base nice and wide, elbow down, and engage. With shooting any kneeling position, I always try to build right angles with my legs. It typically gives me a nice place to anchor my elbow and get some of the movement out of my body and the rifle. The way this tank trap is oriented for this run, my head is all tucked up there underneath the arm of the tank trap. That wasn't exactly comfortable, and in the next clip, I rotate the tank trap around 180 degrees so that way that is forward. Right there guys, you can see I've got a bit of a jam. In situations like that, it's important, like I said in a previous video, to keep your wits about you, figure out what the problem is, and yes, I committed a cardinal sin. I put both those rounds right back in the magazine to finish out the stage. In reading the course description, it says the prop must primarily support the rifle, and as you can see, the prop primarily supported my rifle. I decided to run this a second time using the leg of the tank trap from a seated position, just to see if I could do it. Not everybody's game changer or bag is going to stick to the leg like this. I'll actually talk about how I was able to achieve that later on. I still approach the tips the same way, bend at the waist, lock my legs out, base nice and wide, bag so I can get a big portion of my stock on the tip, elbow down, forearm out, and engage. As you guys can see here, this time the tank trap has been rotated. It makes that center engagement much easier. Guys, I'm going to shut up now and let you finish watching this clip.
left.
Heck yeah. That's very cleanable. You just gotta move fast.
You just just have to move fast.
Time for a little product plug. So earlier I mentioned that not everybody's bag is going to stick to the tank trap leg like this. The product that makes that possible is Otter Wax. Otter Wax is not made from otters. Alright, next up we've got hunting for Easter eggs. We've got a 1.5 at 64, a 2.5 at 89. On start signal, the shooter's going to flip a card to determine a shooting position. They will engage each target with one shot, near to far, from each rung based off the card flipped. The shooter will only be allowed to turn one card over at a time between target engagements. Cards can be at the base of the ladder.
3, 2, 1, engage.
On this stage, time is of the essence. You've got 6 cards to flip and 6 ladder rungs to shoot off of. I'm going to shoot the bottom 3 rungs from my knees, and rung 4 and 5 I'm going to shoot from a standing position. A trick I learned from the guys over at Long Range Tactics for shooting off of ladders is to reach up over the top of the optic, put a little bit of pressure from the heel of your palm on the top, and pinch with your thumb and forefinger the rail of the ladder. This creates a little bit of pressure into your bag and really helps to stabilize the rifle. Now, I'm not the tallest guy in the world, so shooting off that 5th rung is kind of tough. I'm essentially free recoiling my rifle, and I can barely get my eye in the eye box of my scope. No excuses for the miss. A miss is a miss. Sometimes it happens.
That's a tough one.
Alright, next up guys, we've got Quick as the Easter Bunny. We've got a KYL rack, 3/4 to 1/4 inch at 35 yards, and a 3-inch at 100. We're going to start standing 10 feet from the rifle on the firing line, all gear grounded, mag in, action open. On the start signal, shooter's going to move to the rifle, take a prone supported position, and engage the KYL rack from large to small, alternating from the far target to the KYL rack, far target to the KYL rack, in between KYL targets. After the 5th shot, the shooter's going to stand up without the rifle and run to the original starting position, 10 feet back, and then re-engage the targets in the same manner but from the support side. After the shooter has fired their last round, they'll yell done to stop the timer. Note, support side means support eye, hand, and shoulder.
3, 2, 1, engage.
As you guys could see there, I was ready to get that stage started. The 2 targets on this stage, being at 35 and 100 yards, present kind of an interesting challenge because you're wanting to focus on the 35-yard targets, which puts your 100-yard targets out of focus. I feel it's more important to have the KYL rack totally in focus than it is to have the 100-yard target in focus. So I'm gonna be real with you guys, I really don't like shooting support side. It's challenging and you kind of fumble around no matter how good you are at shooting support side because your bolt handle's on the wrong side. So in this clip I tried to illustrate my strategy for dealing with prone support side shooting. I actually am switching my hands back and forth so that way I don't lose my general elevation because I've already got the stock anchored in the bag. Now something that I noticed when I was shooting this stage was that I probably need to visit the eye doctor. My reticle was super crisp on my right eye and kind of fuzzy on my left eye. Maybe that's my age catching up to me. being, as this is the time stage, your mind tells you that you should rush. But the reality is, you should actually slow down and make sure you get your impacts.
Alright guys, well that is a wrap for today. We'll get back out here tomorrow and shoot a couple more of these stages. Hopefully we can get the last 2 filmed. If you guys are enjoying this content that we're creating, do me a huge favor. Reach down there and tap that like button and hit the subscribe. Maybe even turn on the notifications bell if that's something that you're into, if you want to be notified when I put out new videos. It really helps grow the channel, and it helps, I don't know what else it helps. It helps encourage me more than anything else to get my butt out here and film these stages for you guys. Yeah, that's, I don't know what else to say. Dude, this is hard talking to a camera. It's tough. These things are tough.
Alright guys, next up it's Patriots Day. We've got a 1.5 and a 3, a 2 and a 4 on double hangers at 75 yards. We're going to start standing all gear in hand, mag in action open. On start signal, shooter will engage the targets with 1 shot each, large to small in the following manner. Top of the rooftop left targets, middle of the rooftop right targets, bottom of the rooftop left targets, 2-gallon bucket right, then left targets. Note on this one, the rooftop is going to be parallel to the firing line with a peak to the shooter's left.
Engage.
Guys, I kind of like stages like this. It's fun to shoot off of a normal prop in a different way. With it oriented sideways like this, it allows you to try out 3 varying positions on your way down. If you take a peek at my bipod, you'll notice that the right leg is completely extended while the left leg is completely collapsed. Now, I've seen some people shoot off of a rooftop like this just using a bag. Personally, I like to use a Harris bipod on a rooftop because of the Harris's ability to cant your rifle real hard one way or the other. This allows me to kind of mitigate this slope of the rooftop. Now I know, that's not really truly a rooftop. That's a piece of scaffolding, but it's what our stage has, so that's what we use. The 2-gallon bucket is at a weird height. It's slightly taller than what your rifle would be like on a tall bipod, and that makes me not want to shoot it prone. But I've seen a lot of guys have a lot of success shooting it from the prone position. That's just not how I like to shoot it. Something that I gotta point out here is my ability to fold up into these awkward positions. I can do that because I don't drink a lot of beer. I'm gonna create a new saying here. A 6-pack a day puts a pillow in the way.
28 seconds left. That's a good use of time.
Alright guys, next up we've got weight of the world. We have a 2.5 and a 5-inch on single hangers at 85 yards. On start signal, shooter's going to engage the designated targets with 2 shots in the following manner. Top of the sawhorse, small target, standing unsupported, large target. 5-gallon bucket, small target, standing unsupported, large target. Top of the chair, small target. Note, only a sling may be used during the standing unsupported position. Alright guys, on to the final stage for this course of fire. I'm just going to start this stage off by letting you guys know, no matter how many times I shot this, I always missed 4 shots. In a previous video, you guys saw my strategy for shooting off the sawhorse. In this video, it's running parallel with the firing line. So you can just flop your bag right up there, and it's going to be nice and stable for you. Now something to point out here is when shooting the offhand is I didn't use a sling. With only 2 minutes to shoot 10 shots off of 3 barricades and standing offhand in this kind of wind, I didn't feel like a sling was going to buy me the stability that it was going to cost me in time. I went ahead and moved those wind flags out there just to show you guys how crazy the wind gets out here. The wind flags are going left, they're going right, they're going up, they're going down, they're going forward, they're going backward. When I was trying to stand and take those shots, the wind was actually blowing me all over the place. No matter how hard I tried to stay still, I couldn't. My upper body was a sail. Now on a calm day, a 5-inch target at 85 yards is pretty doable, just not today. And just like in March Barricade Madness, I choose to shoot all 3 of these props off of my knees.
Slow down. Started off so good, and then the wind picked up again.
As always, guys, thank you for watching. We hope this video was insightful and helps you tackle April's Course of Fire. We hope to see you out on the range.